Shalom, shalom. First and
Shalom.
foremost,
Shalom.
first and foremost, we want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh,
Yahweh
Yahweh,
Hashem.
Bahashem,
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai,
Yahushai.
Bahashai.
Ba'ashem. Rakah Kodash.
Want to give double honor to Apostle Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. And the mighty shalom to all the listeners and believers out there, the Akim and Aqua stand rooted in his faith and truth, man, pushing forward the will of the Lord and hearkening to that day, man. We almost out of there. These are the few of the mighty brothers from the Gear Branch, Great Millstone, our brother Iowa,
Yo, what's
Brother.
up?
and the brother now coming here. We're gonna make it a short video. All right, it won't be real long, but we're just gonna be going into pretty much what we understood that we signed up for, man. We understood when we came to serve the Lord that what we making ourselves a prey. Right. For those that aren't a part of this world, you're a prey, man, because you're going to come on contrary to what they push in this world. Right. Did he not say, if you can pull that up, now prepare thy soul for temptation, right? So we understand that we were going to get tempted. Why would he tell you to prepare yourself for something and then not expect it to happen? Right? So if you can read that, brother.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right? It says if you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. Why? Why would he try to tempt somebody or try to get somebody in a snare that he already has trapped? Right? Why is he going to mess with a prisoner he already knows that he got doing what he wanted to do? No, he's gonna mess with those that are sober, those that are awake, man, those that are in the know, because you're going contrary to what they believe and what they're pushing on this side of this on this side and in this society, right? Y'all got anything?
I got the
Yeah,
word for temptation.
Go ahead.
Temptation in the Edamon online, it says act of enticing someone to sin. It says an experience or state of being tempted. Let me see anything else I can get before this, before we move on. It says desire, urge, itch, impulse,
So
lure.
lure, right? He's trying to lure you what? Back to that old self, man. He's trying to lure you back to your old ways. Right? He's trying to lure you back to that man before you had came into the know and was reborn through the spirit. Right? That old man that was doing all types of sorts of folly and sinning, man. Things that you were doing before the Lord gave you that opportunity to get yourself cleansed. Right? That's what we're not going back to. We're not going back to that old man. That old man's supposed to be dying daily. You was gonna
uh,
say something now?
yeah. The devil's job is to sift. You know what I'm saying? And Yahweh Shemiah Shai is doing the sifting through the devil. You know what I'm saying? And but we know that we need to arise and depart because it's not our rest. And going back to our vomit, like a dog to his vomit, is very contrary to our walk. You know what I'm saying?
Precept.
'Cause we walking through the straight gate. You know what I'm saying? Instead of that
Precept as
wide
well.
gate that leads to destruction. And we know that the Lord is on his way back. To deliver the judgment. You know what I'm saying? It's judgment season right now. And with all these new unrighteous decrees that are being enacted, you know what I'm saying, man, we definitely have to prepare ourselves because devil about to come down with great wrath.
Ooh, all right, I got First Peter 5:8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." Right? He's walking around looking for who's settled on their leaves, who's being idle. It says an idle mind is the devil's playground, man. Right? So if you're not doing what's it called, things that are going to be pleasing to the Lord, things that are going to be helpful towards yourself, and you're just sitting there being like a sheep in the field just grazing, right? You're making yourself a prey, man. A prey for what? To fall back into those old ways, right?
I got something for you.
Go ahead.
I got the word vigilant. It says keeping careful watch for possible danger or difficulties. It says watchful. It says sharp eye, observant, on one's guard, circumspect.
Precept.
Uh, yeah,
Uh,
that's
you got it.
that's why the Lord said, we're supposed to be watchmen, unto the house of Israel, watching out for these prophecies. And the prophecies are falling off the pages. And he told us to walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as
I got it.
wise. You know, I'll kind of go ahead.
Give me a second, because literally what you just quoted, I got. Ephesians 5:15. It says, "See then." Actually, we started 14. It says, "Wherefore he saith, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Mashiach shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." Right? He says, "Awake thou that sleepest," meaning we were in a sleepful state. We were dead, man, dead in sin. But the Lord's given us another opportunity to pretty much walk in the light. So now that we're in the light, we need to walk circumspectly, being careful of what we're doing, man. What's it called? It says, like, just as for example, when you're walking in a field and you know that this is like animals and stuff been around, you're not just gonna be walking willy-nilly. No, you're gonna be walking circumspectly so you don't step in any crap. So it's the same thing. You're gonna be walking circumspectly in this truth so that you don't fall back into those perverse ways, man. Not as fools, but as a wise man. And it says redeeming the time because the days are evil. Meaning, the time that we have left, we need to be doing what? Occupying until he comes, man. Doing things of the spirit that's going to be fulfilling, doing things of the spirit that's going to help push this word, man, to bring down this evil society at hand.
Kind. I can go
You
back.
had some
I can go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 2.
time.
Uh, Book of Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Yeah, so we have to endure into the end, and the saints shall be saved. You know what I'm saying? This is a triathlon. It's full of obstacles. You know what I'm saying? It's full of like I said in first verse, temptation. It's full of troubles. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's a light affliction. So we have to take it cheerfully. You know what I'm saying? Because we want that crown. We want that protection that we gonna need in the days to come. Because the shelves about to be empty. The police getting full immunity. You about to have guards on the street. You know what I'm saying? So we cannot make, it says make not haste in the time of trouble. We about to have Jacob's trouble is about to officially kick off. You know what I'm saying? So we have to seek the Lord now. And it goes into the next verse. It says, cleave unto him
Spirit.
and
What verse
depart
are you
not away.
Third
It's
verse.
like,
at? Okay. Nah, you got it. Can go on.
yeah, it says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And we at the end of the end. So we have to cleave unto the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And depart not away from him. Depart not back to, to like I said, our old ways. Going back to that old man. Right now we're supposed to trying to rule over our spirit. You know what I'm saying? Those are the days that we're in. Because we know we don't have much time left. It's on a ticking. It's like a ticking time bomb. The clock is ticking. You know what I'm saying? And the doors of mercy are about to close. Y'all want to add on something?
Now go on to that next verse, verse 4.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. We're supposed to take this cheerfully. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord got us at the end of the day. The Lord has our backs if we seek Him and serving Him with truth and in spirit, with sincerity. You know what I'm
If I
saying? The
may.
Lord look out for us. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, just to add further to your point, it's just like a anime or a show or a movie. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had caught up.
Okay. I said just like an anime or a show or a movie, we like the main characters, we gotta go through the filler, and the filler, is going through the afflictions, going through the straits, also as well as going through Jacob's trouble, to eventually get to the end of the episode or the end of the season, which is us being in the kingdom, Lord willing.
Come on. That's why it says take it cheerfully, man. Meaning, pretty much, you're in a good case that you're going through these trials to level yourself up, right?
Hmm.
Understanding that the Lord is putting you through these things not to hinder you, not to. I mean, it is for a punishment, but not just as a punishment, but as an actual just a test in order to build you to the man that He wants you to be, man. Right? It's just like in sports, man. Although that off season and that summer that you're grinding also hard, it may seem what's it called, grievous and hardsome while going through it, right? But when that season comes and it pays off, you're gonna say, "Damn, I'm happy I went through all of this because it yielded the peaceable fruits." Right?
Precept.
I got one too. What you got?
Hebrews 12. Just a quick one.
Dad, that's what I got on the screen.
Okay, that's crazy. Okay.
You can. Well, you was gonna start at.
6,
Yeah,
6
you
and
can do
7.
it. You can start at 6 and just read down.
This is Hebrews 6. So like Hebrews 12 and verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourges every son whom he receiveth. If
Right?
you got it.
It says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chastises and scourges every son whom he receiveth." Right. So that's why we had that Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and 4 saying, "Take it cheerfully." So you gotta take it cheerfully, knowing that the Lord loves you, that He's putting you through this, man. Right? It's called tough love, man. He's putting you through
Mhm.
this in order to build you to be the man that He wants you to be. If you're not going through this, hey, if you read on down, it says that you are a bastard son. So all those people that are going through those hardships in the world but don't understand why, hey man, it's terrible. That's a terrible case to be in.
Precept, quick one.
Go ahead.
Proverbs 13 and 24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he loveth him. So like he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes or bedtimes.
Let me.
You,
You got it. Continue on.
yeah, so the Lord putting us through these situations that we go through, it's all for the love, of him correcting us, him uh the Lord making us into his image. It's not because he hate us, but it's because he love us at the end of the day.
Yep, just like a parent, man. You catch your child doing something they're not supposed to be doing. What you gonna sit there and praise them for it? No, they gonna get whooped. You finna get whooped, and I'm gonna tell you, go in your room and think about what you done. That's what the Lord doing. He sent us here, and He's punishing us, and He's telling us to think about what we did. Then He's also helping us pretty much become better, man. He's building us up. Right? It says a righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets back up, and he keeps moving forward, man.
If I may, just a quick one, just to add to your point, it's just like the sheeps and the sheep herder, they got that rod, they definitely be smacking them right back into place, and it's the same thing with the Lord, with us, give us that smack, that spiritual smack, or us going through a situation to keep us in control, and to form us in the image that He wants us to be in.
Man,
uh, and we see that with the people in the world when they not being chastised, we see the effects of that. They
Hmm.
out there run around like some gremlins. You know what I'm saying? And
it's a scripture
robbing
about that, like mothers bringing out monsters, birthing monsters.
kind. And that's exactly what, and that was Esau's plan to to get the so-called black man out of the house, so the system can raise the children. Along with these neglectful mothers who claim that they gotta go to work all the time and just leaving their sons and daughters to do whatever. And then
Hmm.
social media help in raising them as well. You know what I'm saying? And it just created monsters, like the scriptures say,
All right.
terrorizing the community.
You got that back in Hebrews.
Yeah, one more verse we got.
You don't want you to go all the way down to 11, 7 to 11, because the main play is in 11.
Con Hebrews 12, and we'll end off at 8.
Not 7. We ain't even get 7 yet.
Con Hebrews 12 and 7. If ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not?
So that's just backing up what the brother had just brought out, man. Like, what father's gonna sit there and watch his son going in a terrible dead end way and not try to help his son get back on track? Right? That means your father don't love you, man. I was always told growing up, they say when you shouldn't worry that I'm yelling, you should worry when I stop yelling. Because when I stop yelling means I no longer care. Right? That's when you should start worrying when it started getting too silent and everything's going good in your life. And a lot of brother can attest. When everything going good in your life, it'd be like, hold on,
Expect the
some
worst to happen.
something bad finna happen. right? But the Lord's doing it as what, a balance to keep you humble, to keep you in that spirit of saying, "Oh, I need the Lord, and I understand that this isn't my rest. This is no time to be in the house of mirth." But no, we're in the house of mourning right now, man.
Uh,
You can continue on.
1 second. I got a precept. Let me make sure. I think it's Proverbs 30.
Hold on. And now, if you gotta go, you can. I know you said you have to do something. It's
uh,
4:06.
I can get a
Oh
couple
wait,
more minutes.
no. Yeah, it's 4:06.
I get a couple more minutes.
All right,
Con.
go ahead,
Yeah.
Sal.
Con. You said balance. So this is Proverbs 30 and verse two things are required. Remove. Con. Proverbs 30, starting at verse 8. It says, remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. So this is this is going into us having that balance, or wanting to have that balance. We don't want the Lord to give us too much to the point where, we become complacent or comfortable, you know,
Mhm.
as well as not going through too much. The Lord said he won't give you too much that you can't handle.
Con,
So the Lord's gonna give you that balance, you know, through your daily life. Sometimes it may feel like, oh, you going through too much, but then literally you could have like the next day situation. You on top of the world. That's how exactly how the Lord works. He never gonna have you too low, and he never gonna have you too high.
yep, you're exactly where you need to be, man.
And even when it feel like you're going through too much, at one point in time, it's all right because it's making you it's like scripture say, endure hardness like a soldier. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't want weak men. He wants to
Hmm.
gird up like loins like a man. You know what I'm
Con,
saying? So it's all right going through them times. We just gotta remember, why we going through it, and it's to make us better and stronger, in the spirit. You know.
I got a definition. This is the definition stoic. It says a person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. The brother just brought out, endure hardness as a good soldier. And that's exactly what the Lord wants us to be. He wants us to be a stoic, soldier, in this time period. Because there's gonna be a lot of things that's gonna befall us, you know, in this present time as well as the future, and the Lord wants us to have a straight face, and our eyes, single, towards the goal.
con,
Yeah, because imagine if what I'm saying, during Jacob's trouble, you seeing dead bodies everywhere. You may even see somebody or even in your family, what I'm saying, get murked right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not going through nothing now, how you gonna handle that then? You may end up crashing out or lose your mind or ready to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Instead of enduring to the end.
Hmm.
So, it's better to go through, some affliction now so you can be able to handle that situation.
Kind
con.
of gotta get built up.
God. I mean, just imagine that, man. When you and your families kids come in and just waste them right in front of you, and then you survive. I like those moments where you go on a trip and the plane crash and you the only survivor and you seen everybody burnt up. A lot of people they can't handle that. So you know, I can't really say I myself. That's why we gotta get built up.
Kind.
You know, yeah.
You want me to go
So
back into that Hebrews?
Yeah, because we're gonna finish up in that, and we can close up.
Kind. This is Hebrews 12 and 8. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, Then are ye bastards and not sons.
See that right there. It says, "If ye be without chastisement, where all are partakers." So if everybody else going through hell, but yet your life just going oh so great, you in the wrong house, gang. You in the wrong type of situation, man. That should scare you, right? That means that the Lord's not dealing with you if everything's going so good for you.
That's right. It's almost like, this is they heaven, and we supposed to be striving for the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Not Esau's heaven. You know.
That's exactly what it is. You're getting
Precept.
your participation trophy on this side. Go
Uh,
ahead.
You finna say something now before I get this precept?
no.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 2. It says, "It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting.
That's
For
it.
for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart." What you finna say, Out?
What is
I
it?
was.
What was you finna say?
No, I thought you were saying something.
Nah. But yeah, it's better to be in the house of mourning, putting on that sackcloth, putting on that spiritual sackcloth, rather than being comfortable in this place, going into the house of feasting. It's better to be in a state of mourning, because you're more circumspect, you're more attentive to yourself and what's around you.
That's
But
very
when
true.
you got it, bro,
Now you got it. I was just saying that's very true.
but when you're in the house of feasting, you lackadaisical, you doing any and everything.
Hmm.
You're not focused on what's your job, in this place. Because the Lord didn't put us in this place, to be playing around. We like America is a prison in itself, and it's always two types of people, in prison or in jail. The one that treat jail like it's home, and the ones that's ready to get the fuck out. And we ready to get the fuck out.
Hmm. It's
Uh,
very beautiful, man. Like you said, the one that treats it like home. Who's gonna be drunk during war? What is there to be? What is there to be happy about? They got rid of our Lord. They punishing our brothers and sisters right before our face. We have a lot of people that's going into Moism, right? All type of different perverse things are happening in this world. But yet people want to sit here and party and have fun. This isn't anything to have fun with. That's what it says. With much knowledge comes much sorrow. The sorrow of knowing what your people are going through, but yet they don't want to change. The sorrow of understanding that you can't do anything but sit here and have to deal with it until the Lord decides that the time is ready. Right? So this is the state that we should be in, man. We should be in a sorrowful state, a pissed off state, I would say. Right?
uh,
Uh,
and it's funny too because the situation is ironic because the mirth is gone. No, not even the 2/3 or the heathens are even happy anymore themselves. They not excited celebrating these holidays no more. You know what
they
I'm saying?
forcing
They're
it.
not. They just doing it because it's a habit. It's a habit now. It's a habitual ritual. You know what I'm saying? They not even enjoying it no more. The grinding is ceasing. People
That's a
losing
lust.
their jobs left and right. So, what is there really to enjoy left? Everything's artificial. It's fake. It's rigged. All the entertainment. I mean, what do we have left? It's only like I said. It's why it's now high time to wake out of sleep. 'Cause our salvation is nearer than we believe. That's what it's all about. Our salvation. You know what I'm saying? It's not time to be doing all that other crap, dilly dack. You know what I'm saying? It's time to gird up thy loins. Prepare for battle. Prepare for war, because it's about to go down in a matter of days, weeks, could be hours. You know what I'm saying? We still waiting on that comprehensive cyber attack. You know, like uh, like Schwabi said. You know what I'm saying? So and that nigga gone. So he said all talking all that crap for all these years and just left. Like, so you already know it's man, any day now. You know what I'm saying? So what is it to celebrate? There's nothing to celebrate. Only thing we're gonna celebrate is the kingdom of heaven.
Con. This is Hebrews 12 and verse 9. It says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness.
So you give reverence to your earthly parents who was chastising you for things that you needed to get done. So why not give reverence to the Lord, man? And they said it was for their profit, but the Lord is doing it all for our profit, man. So that we be partakers of His glory when He comes back, man. Right? It says partakers of His holiness. Right? You want to be a part of that, man. You don't want to be that one that was left out or being reborn into the kingdom with that shame of knowing, damn, I had the opportunity to do what needed to be done. I had the opportunity. The Lord gave me that gift. But what did I do with that gift? I either hid it or I discarded it, man. And I chose to do what I wanted to do. Right? You don't want to be that person, man. So you want to be the person that takes that chastisement with your chin held up, right? The one that the Lord was, you know how the Lord was pretty much harking on Job, saying how he was boasting about Job to Satan. Well, have you tried my servant Job? Pretty much saying, like, I know my boy Job got me. No matter what happened, I know my boy Job got me. You want to be like in that Job state. Because even though when Job was having it good, he praised the Lord. And when things got bad, what does Job do? He still praised the Lord, man. No matter how bad it got, Job kept that same face and that same faith in the Lord, man. That's how you have to be throughout this whole truth, man, this whole walk. No matter how low we get, always still praise the Lord. No matter how high we get, always praise the Lord, man. Because all gifts come from the Lord, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. The Lord says, give thanks always. Like He
Come.
said, between the good and the bad and the sad. You know, you always gotta thank the Lord because, to be honest, things always can be worse.
Mhm.
Man, that's why it says a light affliction. The stuff we go through is light, man. It may seem hard, it may seem hindrance. It's light, bro. To be honest, when you just only going through things that's like irritating to the spirit or irritating to the mind, it's not that bad. If you can still go home to a warm house, food, and things that you like, it's not that bad. Enjoy the time that you have now because understand that what's to come is gonna be 10 times worse, man. 10 times worse. It says like a time that has not seen yet before, nor has ever been seen, roughly paraphrasing, right? That's
Mhm.
why the Lord is building us up to this thing because what we're going to go through is going to be something that's going to be spoke about. It say he will no longer be known as the man that saved out of Egypt, but no, out of the land of the north, roughly paraphrasing. That's going to be the new thing because you still have people talking about, yeah, you know about Moses' story, Moses and all that. Well, nah, it's going to be now, you know about that story, how your house shall save them from the land of the north. That's what's coming up, man.
Uh,
Con. Hebrews 12 and 11. It says, now, no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward, it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
So it's like a person in Navy SEAL training. Who the hell you see sitting there? Hey man, I just got waterboarded. Hey man, they just made me run 12 miles. I feel great. No, all of those things that they go through is rigorous. It's things that's gonna push you to your limit, things that's gonna make you furious, right? Things that's not gonna be joyous, even working out. When you're doing that work, when you're working out to try to strengthen your muscles, it's painful because you're pushing yourself beyond your limits, beyond what you think you're exhausted to, man. Right? It says it's but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit, right? So we all know when you first start working out and you go on day one, you're not finna see results off back. No, it takes time. And that's what the Lord's doing with us, man. He's putting us in the fire, bringing us out. Putting us back in the fire, bringing us out. But through each time he's putting us in the fire, what's happening? Dross is falling off, man. That old man is being killed, right? So once we go through this whole experiment, this whole walk, right? After it's gonna yield that peaceable fruit of knowing, damn, everything the Lord that put me through, I appreciate it because now look at us. Lord willing to be a part of the number. Now look at us, we got the new bodies. Now look at us, we in the kingdom. Now look at us, we're in that governing body of this new world. Right now we got the fame that we used to want. Now we got the scepters and the thrones and all the different things that the Lord told us to, if you want these things, obtain wisdom. We got that now. Right. But what do we have to do first? We have to go through these trials and tribulations in order to what? Prove ourselves, man. Prove ourselves to be a friend. Prove ourselves to be worthy of even being able to handle those things, right? That's like when it says when the old man, the countryman came back and he asked those servants who he gave those talents to, he said, "What have you done with my money?" He said, "I had 5 and I brought 5 more." He said, "Good. Since you were profitable over little, I shall make you pretty much ruler over a lot, many, right? Man, you're gonna be ruler over different worlds, man. Can you fathom that? Right? So we just have to continue to endure. Endure, man. That's all you got to do. It's just like a marathon, man. You don't start off the gate sprint. No, pace yourself. Find your pace and do what you need to do in order to make it to the end, man. That's
We
all I
gotta
have.
remember, we gotta finish strong too. Finish strong.
Huh.
We don't want to make to the end and start walking or fall out. You know what I'm saying? Right when you about to cross the finish line, we wanna burst through them tapes. You know what I'm saying? With almost the same energy we started with.
Huh.
That's
That's
it.
all I had.
So with that, Lord willing, this video is edifying. We want to give all praise and glory and honor to
Yeah,
Yahweh,
Hallelujah.
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Bahashim,
Bahashem,
Shah,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushai,
Hashem,
Bahashim,
Epaphroditus.
Rakakadash.
We'll give double honors to Apostle Great Meal. So once again, man, remember that your elders was the trailblazers in this thing, man. So don't ever sit there and not give them double honors because without them, it would be it'd be way more rigorous in this truth for us. They made it simple for us so that we can get it and run off with it, man. So always give double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone. Want to give another mighty shalom to all the Akim and Aqua out there, man. Continue to fight, man. Fight for this faith, fighting to death. Right? He said, if you fight into death, he shall give you a crown of life. He's gonna strive, he's gonna fight for you, man. All right. So you want to say a ball,
Abba Abba,
Palm
Abba,
Yasharala,
Kwam
Kwam
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Chemotherapy 2025, man. Soon.
Soon.